Hello again, welcome to another edition of the Real Ale Guide. Now today's beer is a beer from Hopshackle Brewery, and it's the Hopshackle Hop and Spicy Historic Ales. It's 5% ABV. It's the label, and it's described as a dark ruby beer. So let's get this beer open. It's bottle conditioned, so I'm going to be slightly careful with this beer. Probably do for now. Okay, so what are we getting? It is a dark, very dark, like they say, a dark red. It's very dark red. It's almost, I like to describe them in a kind of a dark wood colour, but this is different. This is, even though it's very dark, it's very clear. Two-finger head, off-white, different consistencies in the bubbles there, plenty of carbonation rising from the side of the glass, but the beer is a very deep red in the colour, almost like brown tinges in there. Okay, let's get the nose. Oh, and there's some caramel, some spicy notes. It's fruity. Oh, this smells delicious. Let's get in. Cheers. Oh, that is different. I'm getting honey in the taste. It's quite rich. It's quite rich for a beer. Some dark fruits in there. Right on the end, I'm getting a roasted caramel chocolate malt in there. Hints of coffee. It's very vinous. The first taste you get is this vinous red wine springs to mind just for the split second, and that quickly gets taken away. It's almost overwhelming. It's overwhelming enough, this vinous nose and taste, because it does hit your nose right just before you're going to taste the beer. This vinous taste at the beginning takes your mind off the middle. It's very hard to get a middle on the beer. What I mean is you get a start, the vinous, the middle, and then the end. You get them chocolate malts on the end. But this is a real thinking beer where it's going to take quite a bit to work out what's in the middle because of that strong vinous flavour. But it's spice, and I find that a lot in British beers. This underlying spiciness there, that's mixed. It's with the yeast, it's with the hop. But they've actually gone out and said hop and spicy, which is exactly what this beer is. It's very complex. It's a very complex beer. Pardon me. Very complex. Now, also what I'm getting now, after digesting all of the flavours, how does it feel in my mouth? How is it sitting in my stomach? It's sitting there very fine. I am burping a little bit, but the dryness in the mouth is quite a dry beer all at the same time. And it's quite dry. It's quite dry. And that brings me on to something else. That brings me on to something else on if you're a home brewer, what is it that goes into a beer that makes it as dry as this? Because it's not an unpleasant dryness. It actually adds another dimension to the beer, and it makes it rather pleasant. It just adds to that little bit of magic that's in the glass, and that's what this is. This is a little bit of magic in the glass. I'm really enjoying it. I've been talking now for nearly 7 minutes, and it's just all about flavours. There's nothing worse than when you pick up a beer, you pour it in the glass, you smell it, there's not much, you taste it, there's not much, and you're wondering what to say. But this has been a full-on description of a review, and I absolutely love it. What I want to talk about next is if you've caught this review by surprise, or if you've just come into real ale and craft beer, you want to learn a little bit more, you're wondering what I mentioned, bottle condition at the start. Have a look at that. It's quite a clean glass of beer. Now if there's a lot of sediment in here, you'll see the beer change. You'll see all sorts of different bits and pieces going in the beer. Now see the colour of the beer now, see the change. It's not as bright, it's kind of a bit dull. There's a lot, well no, it's not a lot, there's just bits of sediment there rolling around on the bottom of the glass. Now that's what a brewer does to get a bit of sparkle, a bit of life in the beer, a bit of carbonation. It's natural carbonation coming from the yeast. It's not forced carbonated, it's a natural product. This is how they've been doing it for thousands of years. So, bottle conditioned beer, there you go. Right, for me, time for a rating. I'm going to give a rating, but I just want to read out the side of this bottle. Hopshackle Brewery is situated in Market Deeping on the Lincolnshire and Cambridgeshire border, just north of Peterborough. The brewery was first installed at the Saracen's Head in Cambridge, then Cox's Yard in Stratford-upon-Avon, before coming to Hopshackle in Deepings. Due to the nature of the brewery, kettle, all the beers have a distinctive bitter-sweet caramel taste. And it's www.hopshacklebrewery.co.uk. Go out and try this. This is a bit of a nice little thinking man's beer. This is a really thinking man's beer, and I like that. I like being able to pick out and pull apart a beer over 10 minutes, which is probably going to be this review. But rating for this beer, I like this a lot. I like this a lot. I like it enough to be able to give this an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. It's got a lot going on. Could I drink it in a session? Could I drink 3 or 4 or maybe 5 of these? The answer is an overwhelming yes, I really could. Go out, try it, 8 out of 10. Put your comments in the comments box. Thanks for watching me. Thanks to the Hopshackle Brewery for making such a lovely beer, and cheers.